Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. It is Friday. We have survived and hopefully thrived in yet another week of this mad world that we are living in currently. So this is the week that we have seen Twitter taken down by the blue tick hackers. But at the same time, we've also seen Russian hackers combine forces for good to find coronavirus vaccines. British Airways retires the Boeing 747 fleet as air industry suffers, and Boris Johnson hands over a whopping £3.3 billion to help the NHS this winter. And fertility rates around the world have dropped, leading to a potential decline in populations. These are just the things that are happening this week. It's another crazy week, but for all of us, it's just, of course, another business as unusual week. Hi guys, and welcome to the Business as Unusual show. I hope your week is going well. We've got a fantastic guest today. We have Karl from Clockwork Moggy, so we are going to introduce him shortly. We're going to quiz him on the world of social media. So if you're arriving on this channel for the first time, please do check out our content. We're pushing out loads of stuff around digital marketing. So if you're kind of new to digital marketing, you want to get a start, there's loads of content on our YouTube channel, on LinkedIn. So please do like and share that content. My name's Luke. I'm the CEO of Sleeping Giant Media, and I will be your host for today. So I'm going to introduce Karl, our guest. Karl, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm hoping you can hear me okay.
All good, loud and clear. And the booth, your sound is fantastic. You're in a noise-cancelling booth, I think you said.
Well, I'm in a co-working space. We're in and there's lots of people that sort of are flittering around. And I was worried that you'd be able to hear me, and I went into the thing, but it's just very hot. So I'm actually now in one of our little meeting pods, which is nice. But hopefully this sounds okay.
Very well. So can you give everybody a bit of an introduction to yourself and the business, please?
Yeah, so my name's Karl. I'm from a company called Clockwork Moggy, which might be a bit different for some of you guys that do know me already. So I used to run my own company called JK Online, and we've recently merged up with Clockwork Moggy, another digital marketing agency that are based in Rochester as well. And we basically do everything digital marketing.
And your particular area of expertise is social media, is that right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, so social media and a bit of design, but yeah, social media is my main thing.
And so how, obviously this is quite recent news. How long ago was the merger between the two of you guys?
So it's the 1st of July, so we've been for 17 days, which only feels like 2. I know, it's crazy. It's gone so quick. Everything at the last 3 months seems to have gone very quickly. So it's
so talk me through it. How's that kind of that process happened? Is it sort of because you guys are in the same kind of space? What's the sort of the sort of reason behind it? What happened?
So this all started PC pre-corona.
Oh, is that I
was
like
having
that.
conversations.
I've heard that before.
I think there's probably a better name for that. I think BC has already taken those names before corona.
I think PC.
So it has to be
there's
PC.
Also there's some issues with PC as well. But anyway, carry on. I like where you're at with that. Carry on.
Yeah, so it is. But so we decided we had very different set of skills. Sounds like a Taken film now, where we were talking about how we could work together, and we did a few projects where we did sort of co-branded and social media based stuff together, and we decided that we would have a go at working on some projects, and we did some things together. And talking about together lots of times, we ran the Together Network, which was a Facebook group that we made right at the beginning of the corona sort of outbreak, where we just provided a Facebook group where people could come in and ask questions if they had anything going on. It sort of grew to 1,200 people. Me and Joe couldn't run it on our own because it was sort of expanding so quickly. So we asked them if they would want to help and come and get on board, which they did. And since then, we've sort of worked together, and then they were looking to hire some social media people anyway, and they sort of wanted to have some people that were like the two, as Neil and Carrie are the guys that run it, and there's Alicia in the team as well. And Neil and Carrie wanted another Neil and Carrie, and we kind of fitted that that quite well. So yeah, we decided it was time to have a go at merging up, and we've talked about it for a while, and then it all came into fruition on the first. We've been very lucky, and I think digital marketing as a whole has been very lucky over the last couple of months in terms of what's happened. So it's quite a nice, yeah, it just made sense, and we like them. We get on. We're all a bit nerdy, and it just sort of just worked in terms of. I think you guys are in the same boat.
What?
I've been to your offices. I've seen the Star Wars.
Outrageous.
I've got a NASA t-shirt on. I saw someone said it in the comments. I've got a
How do you feel
NASA
about
t-shirt on
SpaceX?
as well.
That's the question. That's the.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I was one of them people that was out on the street looking at what I thought was going to be really amazing, and actually turned out just to be like a little light going across the sky. It wasn't as great as it looked.
Was that the series of satellites? Was that what you were out looking at?
So no, it was the Dragon. They launched the actual rocket. I did see the Space Link as well, but I'm a bit of a space nerd. But it was
don't greet me in that boat, all right? I'm not that, I'm not kind of like all over the spaceship type thing. Star Wars, yes, I'll tick that box, but yeah, not following it as closely.
I think. Yeah, I actually, it's funny because I say that like I've made myself out like I'm a massive like astronomy person.
Well, I'm not at all.
I just that sort of stuff.
I know, isn't it? And again, it kind of crops
really
quite aggressively in the window right now. In fact,
it's a thing as well. Exactly, yeah. Like I work there. Yeah, it's one of those things. I came into the office and they were like, "Oh, when's the launch?" And I was like, "Huh? What are you talking about?" Yeah. Amazing. Cheers, guys. Yeah, I think it's just a range at H&M. It's nothing that amazing. Sorry.
Okay, right. So again, if you want your NASA t-shirts, get to H&M. That's the first thing that we kind of picked up. Hi to Amy in the chat. Hi to Danny. Hi to Alex. Hi guys. Good vibes as well from Daniel there, guys. If you've got any questions as well as we go through the interview, please do chuck them in the chat. So Karl, when it comes to the sort of the merger, do you think this is something that's we might see more of as well as the kind of the world that we're in kind of goes forward? Because obviously some agencies doing really well, but a lot of them also quite badly hit depending on their kind of obviously their client base as well. So there's kind of like opportunities, I guess, for those kind of for those relationships to become a bit more formal.
Yeah, I think one of the things that Kent do really well as a whole, I've never worked in digital outside of Kent, so I can't comment on the rest of it, but it's very collaborative anyway. It's quite naturally, lots of people come together and do lots of things together anyway as it is. And I think we're both in the same co-working space. We literally stone's throw away from each other. We have lunch together most days. We were very similar anyway. So we thought that that kind of made sense to us. But I've seen other companies that I've been merging up to, and I think we were in a bit of a different situation where we were both doing quite well, and it made it was a prosperous idea for us to come together and do better. But there's other agencies that can do the opposite, where they're struggling and they can come together to make a full service agency or an agency that's really, really specialised in something and share their skill set. Yeah. Another one that you guys probably know is the Avviso guys. They've just come together with Sam Beadle, who ran like Lilk and stuff, and she's an events manager. They've gone into events and diversified very well, and they merged together as well, and that's good to see. I think maybe there'll be more of it. I didn't really think of it as a thing that was going to happen, but now you've mentioned it, I've seen another person do it as well recently. There's 2 in a month. That's pretty
it could be some challenge. Interesting times. Obviously, there's as I said, winners and losers in this whole scenario. So there's going to be kind of some interesting times, I think, as kind of businesses kind of group together. So going back to this is now 17 days into the merger. What is it? Are you still in the honeymoon period? Are you still busy friends? Is it or is it already starting to get awkward? How's it going?
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one because obviously we're not in the office. There's not been all that tension happening. None of that's happening. It's just we're just kind of being in the same situation. We're just sat at home now instead of being. Yeah, it's a bit.
It doesn't
feel
strange,
like but it's not exactly what I had in my head. Yeah, I didn't really have in my head. I imagined like they're walking in, there being like the nice box on your table where you've just joined the company, and didn't really get a chance for any of that. I got a nice mug, which is lovely, and I got all the stuff that I would normally get, but it wasn't the same as what we had anticipated.
Well, we're gonna put your.
But yeah, no, it's been
awesome. I'm pleased to hear it. We're gonna put your knowledge of. Hold on one sec. We're gonna go bring this one back. Obviously, part of Clockwork Moggy now, so we're kind of intrigued to sort of understand your. How much you know about cats, and this is the cat got your tongue. Let's test your moggy memory. Let's just see what we know about cats. So
this worries me.
It's not about spacecraft, so you're already on the back foot with this one. Let's give it a go. Right, let's have a look. So, Question 1. Name this cat.
Oh, see, this is already going to get me
How
off the
old are
back
you,
burner.
Carl,
See,
actually? How old are you?
Chris, I'm
How
a
old are you?
nerd. I say, yeah, exactly that. I'm
Okay,
27,
right.
so this is
This is
just
before
out of
your
my
era.
range, I think. But I think I know this is a Thundercat, but I don't know
Okay,
which
I'm
one
going to
it
help you
is.
out. Okay, I'm going to help you
Uh,
out because I'm 37, and that is Lion-O right there. That is Lion-O.
I'm right. That is
It
a
is a
Thundercat, isn't
Thundercat,
it? I
yeah,
know
because
the
he holds his
logo.
sword up
I
and he
just
looks through
know.
the kind of thing, and the sword gets bigger, which is interesting. But yeah, let's have a look. It's Lion-O from Thundercats. Good, right? I'm going to help you out for the ones which are slightly out of your age range. I feel guilty for you, and also showing my age here. So, question 2: which character holds the Guinness World Record for being the world's most widely syndicated comic strip? There's a star here, which is published or broadcasted simultaneously in a number of newspapers, televisions, or stations. That was producer Alex, just to clarify. Remembering this is a cat quiz as well.
So I'm assuming that this person likes lasagna. And we're going to go with it being Garfield,
Ooh, okay.
just because I've seen it in a few
Oh,
newspapers.
okay. Like it. Let's have a look. Correct, Garfield. Good work. Also, guys, play along in the chat, and I can see Robert Beach got Lion-O correct. Congratulations. Good work. Good cat knowledge. Right, we move on to the next one. How much did the richest cat in the world have? What? Is that a thing? It is a thing.
Yeah,
Right,
apparently
okay,
so.
fair.
It sounds. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a ridiculous number, isn't it? It's gonna be 7 million. It's gonna be like didn't someone leave like a
It's
whole
quite
town
possible.
to a
I
dog
mean,
or something
I mean,
before?
it's totally possible. I've been reading. I've got two daughters, and we've been watching and reading Aristocats, and yes, there is some sort of bequeathment. Is that a word? Essentially she bequeaths. Yeah, she
Sounds good.
bequeaths all of her house and money to the cat. So let's find out. It is in fact 7 million. Wow. Refused to recognise his family in his will and instead gave his 7 million fortune to Blackie, the last surviving of the 15 cats he shared his mansion with. It's the Aristocats.
Is it a survival of the
Aristocats'
fittest?
true story.
Was that the kind of the
Yeah,
thing
it's
going?
quite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whoever lasts longest gets the money. It's like a Hunger
Well
Games
done,
situation.
Blackie. You survived it. Good work. Right, let's look at the next question. It's no secret the ancient Egyptians loved cats. What was the name of their cat god? Ooh.
Oh, I really want it to be Steve. It's not going to be Steve, but that would be so good,
It
wouldn't it?
would be incredible. Maybe that's the origin of the name
I think
Steve, though.
is it Neck? Yeah, is it Neckbutt? I'm gonna say Neckbutt. Is that how
I'm
you
going to say
pronouncing that?
that
Do you
sounds
reckon?
fantastic to me, Carl. Let's find out. Oh,
Ah, damn,
Bastet. Did not know that. That was a guess.
that's it.
That's say that again.
I know that sounds like I know what word came from that.
I need the bleep button. That's what I need. Right, I think we've got one more. Name as many music. Hang on, many music artists you can think of with a cat in their name. It can be groups too.
Oh, a cat in the name.
Goodness me.
It's like what's something in guard. Oh, no, that's
Chat.
not
We
really,
need some
doesn't
help with
count.
this one.
Can you do Catherine someone?
Oh,
Catherine, does
what
that
about
count?
Cat Stevens?
Cat Stevens.
That sort of
That's a
thing.
good one.
Perhaps.
Yeah, there's got to be some more. They must have got some for your producers. Have got
Yeah,
some
let's find out.
hopefully
Well,
to prove
I
me
have
wrong. But there
no
must be
idea,
some.
but I think I'm gonna go with Cat Stevens. That's all I've got. Oh my goodness me! I got okay.
Oh, so many.
What?
Oh, the
Tommy
Pussycat Dolls.
Kitten,
That should have been.
Lionel,
Lionel.
the lion element. Yeah, so that's
Lionel.
a that
Oh, well,
is
yeah, big
wow.
cat.
Right,
I get
okay.
it.
Oh, there's one more. I think maybe I don't know how many. I haven't got the answers. Right, what's the Rotten Tomato score for Cats 2019?
I think I might know
Go on
this.
then.
I think it's 8%. I think
That's
it's really
really
low.
bad, isn't it?
I remember it's.
I'm gonna go with because apparently we're supposed to We're supposed to have been doing this against each other, which I didn't know. So I'm gonna go with
You've been helping me
9%,
out.
just in case it's above that. Let's have a look. 20%, yes.
Oh, maybe
No,
I don't know it.
well, good work. You've done very, very well there. I think you're a steal to join, and it makes a lot of sense that you've joined up with Clockwork Moggy now because your cat knowledge is clearly very, very good, which is great to see. So, how has the kind of last sort of month or so been in terms of the work that you've been doing? How's it kind of what are the highs, what are the lows? How's it generally been panning out for you guys?
Yeah, so it's been a lot of getting people on board onto trying to get people onto digital who weren't there before is still sort of happening. Obviously, it happened very quickly at the beginning of Corona when all the shops had to close. Lots of amazing businesses that are pivoting. I kind of really hate that word, but changing very quickly to do stuff better. And we've just been helping them out. And we were really, really making sure that we didn't sell in the situation. I think it's quite a hard place for a lot of people to be, and we didn't want to be taking advantage of that. It kind of fit with our company values that we just be there to support, and that's worked nicely for us. We've had some of the best months we've ever had. We've not pulled the water in anyone's eyes. We've just looked after people, and in the same time they've come back, and hopefully they'll be clients for a long time. And I think that's what a lot of people needed to do, is sort of just take that human element from the business, that these are people behind these businesses, and run with it. And it's been good to see people that have really thrived. I know there's been people that have struggled, but I think the stats are crazy how much it's increased.
Yeah.
Live video especially has taken a huge increase. Things like this show is actually doing it.
I don't believe it.
I think there was a gap, wasn't there, where people needed to get news and needed to get entertainment. They were sat at home all day, and social media just perfectly fit that that void.
Good place to be in. We have reached the halfway point. Guys, we're just going to cut to the halfway mark, and then we're going to run digital news roundup. So they'll update you on the critical digital news stories that have been happening during the week. We'll be back after this. It's the halfway mark. I'm Mark Hamill from Star Wars.
Several high-profile Twitter accounts appear to have been hacked.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Business as Unusual show. We are interviewing Karl from Clockwork Moggy on topical events, things that he's been up to, but also the impacts of social media and the things that have been kind of going on. So obviously some interesting stories there in the news, particularly. So let's get Karl's take on some of those kind of those things been happening. Obviously the Twitter hack, that's really kind of hot off the press, that one. What on earth has happened there, and maybe can you just fill people in on what's happened and actually what that actually means?
Yeah, so there was basically a big it's just a breach of the security at Twitter, and somebody managed to get in and get into some of the biggest profiles that are on Twitter, blue tick verified people, and just advertise Bitcoin and scam people, basically, as simple as that. And it was a bit of it's a very big worry for a lot of people, I'm sure, who were thinking they might be next. And there was a lot of people thinking it was going to almost get a little bit political. But it sort of, it's some of the, like Apple, one of the hugest brands in the world, and their stuff's getting hacked into. It's just, obviously, luckily, it was only around Bitcoin and nothing else. Yeah. It could have been a lot worse, actually.
Yeah, they got quite a lot of money there as well in that kind of process. Do you know how it panned out in the end?
It was just people trusting in it. They said they were going to double anything that people put into their account. Some huge, Kanye West is one of them. One of the people that's not probably known for his stability in terms of what his decision making is. He's just ran for president and stopped already. And you just think, people will trust it and put their money into it. And it don't have to be. They could put literally pounds in, and if collectively thousands and thousands of people do it, they'll make a lot of money, and they did.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to affect the trust that's of Twitter and also of verified brands very quickly.
Yeah, as I say, what do you think that will do? I haven't actually seen Twitter's share price. That I'm assuming it's taken a bit of a hit. But what do you think it's going to do for kind of sort of users' trust of the platform?
Well, there's a few things where, so obviously it's going to be a big detrimental effect on social, and I think it's quite obvious as to what it's going to do. It's going to be a lack of trust in terms of people looking after verified, people that have verified being worried that they're going to be the victim of something next. But there's also had effect on Google. Google have basically sort of cut ties temporarily with Twitter, and they've dropped all of their top rankings, and it doesn't affect your rankings anymore. So companies that base off of SEO off their huge Twitter followings could tomorrow lose their top rank.
Well, I mean, that's always something that Google were nervous about, in the sense of they didn't like to utilize Twitter signals too much for that reason, because they were always nervous about that kind of having their algorithm controlled by something that's external. So it's obviously seems to be quite some logic behind that thought process based on what's just happened.
Proving it.
The other story that came up as well was Snapchat as well. So they're looking to entice kind of business users to the platform. And what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, so we don't use Snapchat really very often, and I think that's the reason why they're doing it. It's because it's one of those tools where short form video is on the rise. Things like TikTok are coming through the ranks, and Snapchat really started that with their stories feature, and they've never really been able to monetize efficiently. They did a lot of stuff through advertising, and their dedicated ads are really good, but I don't know, there was never really this space for where, like, compared to Facebook, for instance, where they just got the income from business on Facebook that must be incredible, and you just think they've missed out on that this whole time. And I think hopefully it'll make a good change, and they've got a young market on there, so it's going to be quite a big competitor to TikTok. And TikTok haven't really the business are jumping on there because they think they kind of have to be there at the moment. There's not really a real business element, and I'm hoping that it will. They've got a race now, and we'll see who wins.
Interesting, yeah. Snapchat's an interesting one. Did you reckon they're? Because someone, I can't remember who it was now, but someone offered to buy them, didn't they? But they said no.
It was Facebook.
Was it Facebook? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
what
Facebook.
Do you think?
And it was
like a billion.
It was an incredible amount of money.
Pounds.
It's like $2 billion or something.
It feels like I should turn around with a cat and just kind of say it at the same time. But it was big numbers, wasn't it? It really was big numbers.
Yeah, and they stuck to their guns, to be fair to them, because it's what a huge amount of money, and they thought they trusted in their own product, and they have continued to adapt it.
I can't help but feel I'd be like, you know what, we should have taken the $2 billion at that point. But yes, anyway, we're going to go to talk about some quotes, and just to say, Joni in the chat has seen Cats, and it's stuff of nightmares apparently, but the kids loved it, so I'll bear that in mind. I haven't seen it, so I will have to check that one out.
I've not seen it either.
No, it sounds like something that we can avoid. But maybe part of your knowledge, part of your onboarding of Clockwork Moggy is to in fact survive the watching of that.
Even the people that are in it don't like it, do they? Like James Corden has said, like, don't watch
really?
it.
I haven't followed it that closely, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it's up there, does it? But it's a good live show though. I have seen it live. That was cool in the theatre many years ago. But yeah, I'm not sure about the transition to films. So this bit is the status quote. Okay, so every week since the last 3 times, because we've just added this as a feature, we're looking at different quotes, because this is what LinkedIn is all about. People love quotes. And we wanted to sort of get your view on which one of these you would snog, which one you would marry, and which one you would avoid. So it's like snog, marry, avoid, but with inspirational quotes. So it's essentially, do you like it, love it, or not like it at all? And the first one, let's have a look. Quote number 1. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission. That's the first one. Okay. Second quote. He's not happy about that, doesn't like it already. Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out. I have to be very careful about how I read that one. I don't quite get that, but okay, good.
The tongue twister.
Yeah. Next one. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Zig Ziglar. I love the Ziglar. He's awesome. He knows his stuff, to be fair. I've never heard him say that quote. But how do we feel about those? What's your thoughts, Carl? Which one do you snog in? What do we think?
Well, I really like the last one. I think that's a long one to go with. I think the second one is, if you can say it, it's a quick. It's got to be. I think it's got to be.
Let's try again. Things work out best for those.
I don't really understand.
Hang on. Let's try the second one again. Things work out best for those who make the best out of how things work out. It's a really weird sentence to read.
I do actually like what it's saying, though. I must admit, it when you've just dissected it, it kind of makes sense. But as a passing comment, you're not going to enjoy that one too much.
It's not the one that you're going to throw out there as a kind of an inspirational quote to your at a pub or something. If your mates, sort of need something, you're not going to throw that one out, especially after a beer or so. That's going to be a difficult one to say. So.
And I don't really get the first one. If you want to achieve greatness, stop asking permission. I feel like I understand it, but like it's a.
Yeah.
I don't really. It's not much going for it. That's my avoid.
So that's your avoid.
I think marrying the bottom, snog in the middle. I think it's just a quick. Yeah. Ironically, the quick one is the one that takes the longest to read.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we've got top one is your avoiding one. Is that right? And then the middle one is your snogging, and this is the marrying one. People often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Zig Ziglar. Nice. Very good. I'm a big fan of Zig Ziglar. Have you seen some of his stuff?
I must admit, I haven't. I'm one of the people where you got
to check it out, Carl. It's game changing. It's game changing. Honestly, some of his stuff is amazing.
Enjoy it. Changed my opinion on reading books. You guys always. I came to Ant did a talk, and it was talking about a book that he
was
loved.
EOS.
And
that was Entrepreneurial Operating System, wasn't it? That guy loves that book.
That's it. And I don't. He does, and I don't. I don't read enough business books.
I'm going to level with you because I don't really read them either. But what I do is I listen to them. Audiobooks. It is the way forward. I feel like that has changed my life. Is Audible and a website called Learn Out Loud as well. That was awesome. You get some really kind of great content from there whilst you kind of I don't know, shopping or something, or going for a run or something like that. So they access the kind of information. Reading is not my strong point, as you just said, because you've just seen me try to read 3 quotes and I struggle to get through those ones. So that would be my tip. Get involved with the Audible, everybody.
Okay.
Nice. Is there? I mean, of the stuff that you do consume, what sort of content where do you get your ideas? Where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, it's good. A lot of it just comes from, obviously, being a social media manager. A lot of it comes from social media. One of the things that I'm really adamant about, and I try and invest into everything I can, is that you need to just double check it all, because it's very easy for it to not be correct. So just backing up sources. But I watch a lot of YouTube and just getting a lot of stuff. And that's kind of where we're at. I've just seen someone saying there about max occupancy on the wall.
That.
Yeah, it's ironic. It's a 2-person meeting space, and they can only have 1 person in it.
Not anymore. Thanks, Corona.
Yeah, that's all been changed.
Good work. How is the office space kind of faring? How is it kind of?
I'd love to walk. I've got so many wires here. I'd love to walk you around, because Roland, the guy in charge here, this place is now officially cleaner than my house. Like, I'm safer here than I am there. They fit ionized handles onto all the handles, so they don't put any bacteria across. There's everything gets wiped down like every hour. He comes and cleans our door handle for us. There's a one-way system. I'm just looking around the office at the moment. There's loads of purpose glass in between all the spaces. You have to book in. There was no new members for a while, and they've just reopened for new members. Done an absolutely amazing job of getting this place open, and today's been really great to see. There's been about a sensible amount of people in here where it's safe, but they still can have a community feel to it, which is what co-working is all about. So it's on the rise. So hopefully it just keeps getting better.
So we're running quickly out of time. I do not know where the time has gone, but what do you hope that happens in the future? What do you hope the human race embraces of this situation? And actually timed nicely with Robert's comment there. He's just talking about the word support. Really nice to hear that. And he's reduced his hourly rate for driving lessons, and that's great. That's the sort of stuff. We see some really nice things happen. What do you hope that we as a human race take from this situation and carry forward?
So one of the things I think that has been the best that it's ever been is just my ability to talk to my grandparents. I talk to my grandparents all the time now, and I always wanted to and never could find the time to do it beforehand. And now it's just ingrained in part of what I do. Like I call my nan up all the time and have a chat with her. And I think actually I talk to my family more than I've ever talked to them. At a situation where we're not like going and being a social. It's a really strange thing, and I think it's nice to get my nan onto using her iPad and talking on Zoom, as that's been cool to do. And I really like the fact that actually, although social distancing's happened, social was really on and up, and things have been really great to talk to. It's been amazing seeing the collaboration that's happened in terms of businesses working together and businesses coming forth and changing and doing better things, whether that's a restaurant offering takeaway to businesses completely pivoting on their head and changing to something completely different. It's been some really positive stories out of it, and I hope that stuff, that positivity, continues afterwards, because although there is a lot of negative stuff to be had on it, I think if you look at some of the stuff that's changed, it's great to see.
Absolutely, and couldn't agree more. Fingers crossed some of the nice stuff carries forward, and we learn some lessons during this time period. Karl, we are out of time. You've been an absolute star. Thank you very much. And I see the star reference. It was related to your T-shirt. Well done. Tied it all back together. So that's what I do these days. But thank you very much for coming on board and sharing some of those insights. It's been awesome, and best of luck with the sort of the merger and how that kind of pans out in the coming kind of months and years ahead. Best of luck with it.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, great to have. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Right, guys, that is it. I cannot believe the time has gone. It is 5 o'clock. It is definitely pressing on with the weekend. We will be back again next Wednesday at 4:30. We have got Linda Garcia on Wednesday, and we've got Oliver Trailor joining us on Friday next week. So there's dates for your diary. So please, as ever, do like and share the content, and hopefully catch up with you next week. Have a wicked weekend.